Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We're talking to you guys about Gunplay and his wife, Vonshae. She released another video of him destroying the TV in the home. And I want to talk a little bit about why do women like Vonshae stay so long in such a relationship to a point where he actually threatened the baby and her with a gun. I mean, it's in the name, of course, but that's besides the point. Why would somebody, a black woman, stay so long in such a relationship which is so volatile? And I think I heard that her upbringing was quite good as well. So it doesn't really make sense why she's there. We can find that out another time. But let's have a little conversation about that. Before we get deeper into that as to why someone would stay in that kind of relationship, let's just do some little house rules. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you've not done so already. If you're new to this place, like it, share, subscribe to the channel because we're here to always break down things in an educated way and have a bit of fun with it. And if you haven't done so already, click on the black bell button to be notified of when I upload, also when I go live. And I go live quite a bit, baby. Okay, we go live quite a bit. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because the streets out there are hot. Let's get into the video, okay? Let's get into this video and let's break it all the way down. If you haven't done so, again, please subscribe because we like to get to 100K by the end of the year. Gunplay and Shay. The first time I saw them was actually on Breakfast Club, right? And Gunplay had a situation with DJ Envy, and I saw how he handled that in a very emotional way, because he started recording the conversation, posted it onto the internet without actually telling DJ Envy. They had sorted it out, but he still wanted to have beef with him. And a lot of people like that, they are very emotional. And the trouble with that is they're not just emotional, they are emotionally unregulated. People like Gunplay don't know how to express themselves in a most efficient manner. So when they get angry, it spills over. They oftentimes struggle with being able to accept and understand their own feelings that causes confusion within. And then they struggle to process things, so they shut down. Let's stick with the expression part because we're seeing a lot of anger and frustration right now. And oftentimes when you see violent outbursts and stuff like this, there is a failure to be able to express yourself in the means that is necessary, right? Anger in itself is not an issue. The Bible says, be angry, but sin not. You can be angry. It is the action that follows after that. And is that socially normal, the action you're about to take? And so when he takes a pan and he's about to smash the TV, let me show you what he did. And we'll read her statement. When he does this and he's smashing the TV,
the morning after when he sobers up. This will give me a new TV now.
Yeah, we gotta go get a new TV. We'll be right back with the new one.
Now let's pause it right there. There's some important information that comes up to us that lets us know. Number one, she says, "Oh, he's gonna get us a new TV." And the day after, he's sobered up. He's smiling. He's laughing. Everything seems to be calm and chill. He's like, "Yeah, you know what? We're gonna have to go and get you a brand new TV." That's why she stays for so long, because the Jekyll and Hyde behavior, she is hoping one day I don't know which side it is, the good side overwhelms the bad side. She's hoping that one day the good will completely eradicate the bad, but the reality is it's not. The bad will always be there because he's a drinker and he's not solving his issue. He has deep wounds that he has not solved, and therefore when he drinks, the issues come leaking out because he hasn't dealt from within. The drinking is a thing that brings out whatever has been suppressed. The drink is a liquidator. It is a remover of the walls. It is an ability to remove the restraints that are on the mental mind. And now the anger, the frustration, the hurt, the pain, the inability to express oneself with the words of the language to dictate, to be able to express what they're thinking and what they're feeling in a way is difficult. Apologies. And so now you have this violent outburst. There's no excuse. It's an explanation. I want to make it very clear. We're not excusing his behavior. We're explaining, and that's what's key. Here's my thing. I think Vonshae stayed because she believes she can change him. How many women have been in a relationship where they felt like they could change him? You think you can change me? Get over it. If you know the song, you know. So women out there think they can change this man because they feel that they are the thermostat. And so when they are in the room, oh, he changes when he's around me. Oh, he's different when he's around me. Or if I could only just get him to be good all the time, if I can just remove the source of frustration, he will stop being bad. If I remove the drink, which is what his frustration is, if I remove the drink, then he stops being bad. But the reality is the drink is only an external outlet for what's really happening within. There is turmoil and a storm happening within his heart. And the drink only just releases that storm. Taking away the drink will just mean he chooses something else that will become part of that external ability to be able to regulate himself and do what he's doing now. It will be smoking next. It will be dangerous activity, whatever. There'll be always an extreme to kind of balance what's feeling within. So taking away the drink doesn't solve the issue. And in fact, she took away the drink. And that's what got them into the situation. I'll read her statement in a second or two. She took away the drink. And when she took away the drink, the next thing that happened was this. Okay? So the sober gunplay is worth saving, but the drunk one is a throwaway. And so what happens is ladies sometimes start seeing this dysfunction, usually having this naive personality or naive view of the world, haven't dated anybody else. They're codependent, they're codependent individuals, or they have a toxic, dysfunctional background, family-wise, so they can cope with these scenarios because they're used to it. Going back to the naive point, the naive aspect too is also somebody who has been sheltered. And so some of these things end up trying to save somebody, all right? And that's what sometimes can contribute towards why she's still there. And I think, you know, the fact that you want to save the good gunplay rather than the drunk gunplay plays into this very toxic cycle. Because what will happen is you're also getting your ego boosted. You're getting your particular, how do you say, your particular validation as well, right? So he goes into a cycle. He's good for a few months or good for a few days, and you're doing everything you can to make it happen. And you're looking at it and going, I'm actually doing something, and it's changing him. And then he relapses and he drinks and then he gets mad, he gets crazy again. And then you try to temper it, right? Because you love him, you care about him, and you try to temper the behavior. And maybe today you temper it a little bit and he doesn't go as mad as yesterday, right? You think you've won, but in reality, you're fighting against the wind. You're fighting against the wind. And then it creates this toxic cycle because he gives you a high again. Because when he starts doing good again, you feel like the dopamine rushing is making sense. I'm actually doing something, but all he's doing is taking you on a trauma cycle. It's going up and it's going down. Very high highs, very low lows. It's a very low low. Okay. The power of the ego cannot be underestimated as to why women stay in these situations. If I could just keep them sober enough, it's about you. It's about you and your behavior. It's about how great you could be and how much of a woman you can go through this suffering in order to show that you're this great woman. It's about your validation. Okay. Right? Gunplay doing what he did there, especially after pointing a gun at her and the kid, it was bound to happen. Because did you think him destroying everything else around you would mean that he would spare you? Eventually, that behavior of how he treats others is how he's going to treat you. So we cannot ignore behaviors. When people are mistreating people outside, don't think you're not next. If they can do it to somebody outside, they can do it to you inside. How much more? Right? So it's not a surprise that Gunplay chose Gunplay with her and the kid, and did that. It's not a surprise, because eventually they turn inwardly on the person who's been supporting them, loving them, care about it, because they're self-sabotaging. They're self-sabotaging. They don't really truly believe in their value of themselves, right? And she may also feel guilty as well about leaving him, because she may feel like he's in a vulnerable state. I can't leave him now. Like, something will happen to him. But she can also feel guilty too, because if she's drinking a little bit too, she may feel like, we're both in this. We're both toxic. Why leave? Obviously now she's left because of the child and stuff, but it just got me thinking about why people stay in those relationships. And the reality is, a lot of women stay in these situations because their ego, and they feel like they can change that man, and they get validation when he does change for a few days, and then it drops down again, and then it gets a dopamine rush again because he becomes good again. And it's all a cycle to keep you locked in. Like, share, subscribe. Actually, yes, I will say like, share, subscribe. because I'll read a statement in another video. Like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you guys. Still looks loaded. And don't forget, we're trying to get to 100K subscribers. Make sure you click and join up as well. We want to hear your thoughts. We'd like to see